Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I want to share some ways for us to practice self-love and self-soothing during this time. I think so many of us are feeling isolated and lonely if we're social distancing and quarantining, and I've just been hearing from so many clients and friends that it's just such an isolating and lonely time, and that feels so painful and so hard that we don't really know when we're going to get that kind of connection back, and we might be really missing physical touch and physical contact from friends, family, partners that we normally have and maybe don't have access to right now. And I just want to say that as a human species, we are meant to be in connection with one another. We're a social species, and really solitary confinement is one of the worst forms of torture. So this is just so hard on us. If it's hard on you, just know that that's so normal. And I also want to share some ways to ease some of that heartache. And so if you're feeling lonely, here's a couple things that you can do. The first one is actually doing some self-contact. So I like to actually just wrap myself in a hug with my arms kind of around my chest and my belly, and just kind of squeeze the outside of my arm and my side, and maybe, you can just do it whichever way feels good to you. You can just kind of like wrap around and grab the backs of your shoulders. You could have like one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. I kind of like this kind of hug feeling. And so really just giving yourself a self-hug and pausing to actually get in your body and feel the feeling of what it's like to have my hand on my arm and my arms resting on my chest and belly, and just really soaking in this physical contact. Maybe squeezing, even doing some kind of like soothing pats, or petting your arm, and just like those soothing kind of strokes, and kind of like if you were to hold a little baby or a little toddler, like how would you hold and comfort them? Maybe you kind of like pat their back and that kind of thing, and you could even rock a little bit. And so we're really taking care of the child parts of ourselves, those little child parts of us that are really needing some soothing. And so we're actually learning how to be our own best caregiver. This is self-attachment work, and it can be so, so healing for those parts of us that we all have inside that didn't get exactly the kind of care that we needed by our really well-meaning and loving parents, but no parent can be perfect all the time. And so all of us have some of this kind of wounding that we develop in childhood, of a part of us that still needs care and love that maybe it never got. And so, so doing this kind of holding, self-contact, and then the second part to that is actually speaking soothing, kind words into that feeling of loneliness. So I like to say to myself, it's okay to feel this feeling. It's okay to feel sad. Oh yeah, you're so sad. Oh, I understand. And really using that tone of voice that we might actually use with a little kid. Like, oh, I know, it's so hard. It's so hard, and that's okay. It's okay to be feeling this way. We just want to really validate whatever it is that we're feeling. Let ourselves know it's okay to have this feeling. There's nothing to change. There's nothing wrong with feeling this. And giving ourselves permission to have that experience. And also the next part is just letting ourselves know that we're going to be here for ourselves no matter what. I'm just going to be here with me. I'm just going to be here with you. Just here, just noticing, just here with you as you're having this experience, just hanging out with you as you're feeling this sadness or whatever it might be. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to shame you for it. I'm not going to criticize you for it. I'm just going to be here, just noticing, just hanging out with you. And I even feel in my own self like some relief come in, some bigger breaths. And The last little tool I want to share is actually something that I learned from Danica Brescia in one of her self-care classes, and I think she called it the I love you massage, and ever since I learned it, I just love it so much. And so it's just a self-massage where you kind of like take your hands and you just massage yourself. Maybe you kind of like get into your shoulder, neck, back, legs, feet, hands. And every time you squeeze, you say, I love you. So you kind of do this and you say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you just hug yourself and you squeeze yourself and you give yourself that love. So this kind of work can actually be so healing for those early traumas that we have. Learning to create a relationship with yourself where you can actually be present to difficult emotions and offer yourself loving, caring presence. It creates so much freedom in your own system to then connect in relationships without attachment, without needing them to be a certain way so that you can feel okay, because you already have the self-relationship and the self-love where you're feeling whole and integrated and grounded, and then you have the freedom to be so open in your other relationships. So this work can be, it seems so simple, but it can be really, really healing and transformative, and it can just feel so good when we're feeling lonely or isolated. So I hope this helps, and share if you think it might help someone else. Okay, bye.